the 5th of December and I am like 5 days out from my period, but I've not been feeling very well.
For like a whole week.
For like at least a week, yeah. And so I just thought we'll test and just see. We've got 3 different tests. We've got 2 first responses and a clear blue. So we've got first response, tip and read. Dip and read.
Our future kids are gonna think we're illiterate.
Yeah, we're not. We've got this one, which is a 6 days sooner test. So I think that's what I'm going to use now. And then we've also got a clear blue pregnancy test. This could be negative. So I'm just like really anxious to test, and I've had a drive to test. I'm going to pee in a cup because I can't aim it properly. Phil's going to just stay in here because we'd always said that we'd do this together.
Yeah. Five.
Okay, hopefully that's okay. I put it just face down. Phil's timing on his watch for 3 minutes. We've been praying for a year. We've had other people praying for us. But in my head I'm just like, it'll be negative because we've tried before like a lot in the window and it's always been like, it just hasn't happened.
Wow.
Yeah. Ready?
Sure, as ready as I'm ever gonna be.
Oh no, that's 1 line.
That's a 1 line.
That is a solid 1 line. There we go. It's a solid 1 line. Today is the 18th of March and Phil and I have been trying for a baby since April of 2024, so it's now March 2025. We have only really just tried the natural method. I have been using the Flow app to track my cycle, and I've been using Flow for like years and years now. So this is what it looks like. The red is when you are predicted to get your period and the blue is when you are predicted to be ovulating. I have learnt with like tracking fertility and stuff, it's really important when you're trying to get pregnant because you can only get pregnant within like a very short span of your cycle, and so it's within your ovulation phase when your egg gets released. I've been tracking my cycle for, I want to say maybe 4 or 5 years. I was on the pill from when I was 18 and I went off when I was 23, right before we got married, and Phil and I have almost been married for 3 years. And so now this month for the first time we have started to use some ovulation tests. These are the clear blue ovulation test digital. So I did one yesterday for the first time. This is what it kind of looks like. So when you have the little like smiley face, that means you are ovulating. I did this yesterday at like 4 o'clock and it hasn't gone away. I think if it flashes and it stays on for 8 minutes, then it means you're in your fertility window, but if it stays on for 48 hours with like the little smiley face there, then it means that you are like peak ovulation. So I think I'm just gonna do another test today. This is the little guide up the top. So the blank circle is nothing. We've also booked in a doctor's appointment at the end of this month, just to kind of see how we go. But yeah, you've got the little digital bit and then you just swap out these. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1 for luck. Set a timer for 5 minutes. There we go, that's our timer. It's literally still on the smiley face. Seem to still be in my peak fertility window, so that's good because my app also currently says right now that I'm in my peak fertility window. It is a new cycle and that means we are back at the ovulation testing. So if my arm looks a bit funny here, it's because I got a blood test because they're also checking my hormone levels as well. My period ended like not yesterday, the day before, and I kind of want to be a bit more like consistent now with my testing. Is pretty much like as soon as my period ends, so let's do this. Yeah, and we obviously have been to the doctors, but you can't start having like medical stuff for fertility until you've been trying for a year. Oh, there we go. She's reading. My fertility at the moment is low. The circle there. So this is a really good indication. It is day 2 and I am going to test. I'm like at home like quite sick today. Now let's come up with the test ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You guys see that? It is a flashing smiley face, which means high fertility. It's really, really interesting. So my period finished and then I had 2 days of low fertility and 1 day of high fertility. That's so interesting. I guess we'll test again tomorrow and see if it stays on the screen, because yeah, it's still very much flashing. It is late. It is the next day. I forgot to test earlier, so I'm testing now. Do excuse the extractor fan. Phil is here. Oh, I did not get this open yesterday.
You can open it.
Yeah, yesterday's one was just kind of difficult. Oh, okay, now it's come up with the test ready. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now we wait. There we go. I was gonna say it should flash within 1 minute. And that's what it's doing.
This was flashing before, right?
Yeah, that was flashing yesterday, and the day before it was like that. Yeah.
Then 30 seconds off 5.
Okay, it should come up soon. Yesterday it took a little bit after 5.
Yes.
So it's still flashing
High.
smiley face. That's
Yeah.
still high. There we go. So I'm still on high fertility, but not peak.
Better, high or peak?
So peak is the best. When it stays on permanently for 48 hours, that's when you're on
Okay,
peak.
well, yeah, I just assumed if it's flashing, it's more urgent, so, you know.
No, I have to test again tomorrow. It is day 4 and we are testing again. It's not as late in the day this time. According to my app, predicted day of ovulation. I'm intrigued to see if that is correct. Here we go. Alright, and we are on peak fertility. This is just staying on, no flashing. Great, cool. So it looks like my app is consistent. And then that means I can stop testing for this cycle now. But when you switch your flow app from period to trying to conceive, you can put in your ovulation tests and like whether they're positive or negative. Hello guys, so I'm just gonna pop in and do a little update on this video. I didn't actually plan to do this today, but I was watching another girl's TTC journey on YouTube, and it kind of made me realize I probably should pop in. We just had Easter, hence the Easter tree and the bunnies in the background. This morning I had my second blood test. So I think I mentioned to you guys that I needed to do a blood test on the second day of my cycle and then day 21 of my cycle. So I am 5 days out from my next period, and Phil has also done a test. We haven't heard back about Phil's count yet, so we also need to wait to hear back from that. Yeah, I have been taking the medication, prenatal stuff, I don't know the correct terminology, but the iodate and the folic acid. I've been taking that now for a month, 2 months almost 2 months. Tomorrow is mine and Phil's 3-year wedding anniversary, so it would be quite nice if it was this month. And if we were pregnant this month, it means we have a December baby, which is just chaotic. But like, December is like my favorite time of the year. I personally haven't ever been diagnosed with anything. Phil has never been diagnosed with anything, but I have always struggled with that time of the month. Like, I've always had like a lot of pain, quite like bad periods and stuff. I've mentioned it to the doctors multiple times and they've just put me on different pain medications, and then they would like start to work and then my body would get used to it. I have had a couple of cysts on my ovaries before, because last time when I went to the hospital, that's what happened, but that can be quite common. It's just dependent on how many cysts you have and how frequently you have them, but I've only been aware of like one time that I've had them. My battery just died. I did mention it to the doctor when we went to talk about fertility, because obviously we went to a fertility specialist. It's at my normal doctor's practice. Yeah, she just wanted to do the hormone test to start with and just test Phil, which is fair enough. Today is the 28th of April 2025, and according to my Flow app, my period was supposed to come yesterday. It's not here, so I'm just gonna do a test and just see. It might be negative, but we'll see. These 2 tests here. Phil is also here. It's his day off today. So I've got the first response, which I'll probably do first. This is just like a dip one. And then I've also got this clear blue one, which is just one of the ones with the caps. I don't know why I feel so shaky. I'm not anxious for it to be positive, but I'm just anxious because I'm like, if it's not, then it's fine. Let's do it upside down.
Up, other way.
Oh,
yeah.
do you just want to see it develop? Oh, that's terrifying. Okay. Oh, that's looking like it's not. That's already looking like it's negative.
How long does that
2 minutes.
Well, let's wait 2 minutes. You know what happened with the COVID test you did?
Yeah.
I said 1 and then you put it in the bin.
And then like an hour and a half later it was positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Like, that's a pretty like hard negative line. Do you think I should do one of the clear blue ones just to be sure?
If this is negative and you still haven't got your period by tomorrow.
I'm like, maybe I should do one of the clear blue ones just to be sure.
Okay.
Because this one is definitely looking like it's negative.
Yeah.
Like that. Might not have a Christmas baby. I feel like if it was positive, it would at least have a faint one, because there's literally nothing.
Okay, I'll do one of these.
Okay, we're gonna do one of the clear blue ones just to be sure. I feel like I trust these. If this comes back positive, I'm gonna be so confuzzled. Phil's reading the instructions.
You dip it in for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And then we wait for 3 minutes.
Okay. Alrighty. Let's do this.
Yeah. My watch has a stopwatch on it. So
It already looks like it's come up with something. I haven't even dipped it
no,
yet.
I think it's just the base thing, so don't worry about that.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, for luck. Okay, well, it's turned pink. Okay.
Starting.
It is looking like it's not. That is already looking. Yeah, I don't think that's magically going to go positive anytime soon.
It's okay, it's not quite this month. It's alright.
Yeah, that's well and truly negative still.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, it's not.
Okay.
Hey guys, so today is the 2nd of July. It has been a couple months since I have updated this video. Phil and I decided to stop trying for a couple months just because recently I've just been so stressed with like uni assignments and uni exams and stuff that I was really like worried that if I did fall pregnant, like how the stress that I was feeling would impact pregnancy and impact a baby. But we've decided that we're going to start trying again this month and just kind of see how we get on. I can't remember what I last updated you, but my blood test that I did to check all my hormone levels have come back fine. They're all working as they should. And then Phil's sperm test came back all normal as well. He's got the correct number of sperm that he's supposed to have. They're all nice and healthy and moving as they should, so nothing is wrong there. Still on the prenatals at the moment, taking a break this year, and then we took a break last year when we were moving house because that was also very stressful. So we haven't been to the doctors since last time when a fertility specialist recommended that we do the blood test and Phil's sperm test. Like the next steps for us, I think she's referring us to another specialist. Phil and I are also thinking through going to a naturopath, but we just want to try for like a year first before we do any of that other stuff. We're back on the Clear Blue ovulation tests. I haven't used this in a couple months. If it's not okay, then I do have another box that we can use. Oh, these are always really hard to open. There we go. Cool, so it's doing the thing that it should do, which is like where it just flashes at the start. And then when it looks like this, that means that it's ready to dip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm gonna put a timer on for 5 minutes. Yeah, I finished my period on Sunday and today is Wednesday. It also says on my app that I'm in my fertile window now. This isn't sponsored at all, but just I've been using this to track my periods. I also am thinking I might potentially get natural cycles to just kind of see how it goes, because I don't know, I feel like flow is really good for like tracking your period, and it's been like a really great method of like natural birth control for Phil and I. We just use like natural family planning, which has been working for us. We've been doing that since the April that we got married, so 2022 April is when I went off the pill. I may upload this to YouTube, I'm not sure. I feel like I might, but if this video goes up, it will be like our complete year of trying. So if this doesn't end with me being pregnant, then please, yeah, just keep praying for us. That would be the best thing that I could ask. We've had people praying for us for like months and months and months, and we've been praying for like 2 years. So just gotta keep waiting. So this result says that I am not ovulating, which is very interesting because my app says that I am, but I'm not. I guess we'll be back tomorrow to test again tomorrow. Hello guys, it is the 4th of July today. We are back doing another test. I didn't end up filming yesterday, quite frankly, just because I forgot, and I literally forgot to do a test. So yeah, we went to a book sale and then we're dog sitting at the moment, so it was just like a very busy day, and it just completely slipped my mind to do one of these tests. But I really want to do one of these tests. I just want to see if I am now. Hopefully I haven't missed my ovulation window. I'm also like kind of stressed that I may have potentially missed it. Alright. Okay, it's preparing. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So still not ovulating yet. Today is the 5th of July and doing another test. You're also like supposed to use your like first pee of the morning. I've not been doing that. I've been using my like second, I think, of the day because, oh my gosh, why is it so hard to open? Ugh, because it is just too early when I like first need to go in the morning. And we are still not ovulating yet. Okay, damn it. Well, I'll be back tomorrow to do another test. Hello, it is the 7th of July. I've just woken up and I'm gonna do another test. I didn't do one yesterday because we just had a really busy day, so had no time yesterday. Phil's also home today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now we wait. Oh my gosh, I thought it was a blank circle. Wow, this is really late this month. Wow, okay. That's good. That means I'm in my ovulation window now. Today is the 31st of July 2025 and we are back doing another test. Hey guys, so I was just getting ready to film a video and I just did another ovulation test. I didn't do one yesterday because I was out for like a lot of the day, but still no ovulation, so still waiting, hopefully over the next couple days. I just wanted to come on here and talk about some of like the emotions that I've been feeling through our first year of trying. This is like me being quite raw and quite real, so I'm not like looking for like any pity or anything. I just want to express how I'm feeling because I feel like if you are also on this journey then you can probably relate to some of these feelings. I do find it quite hard to surrender all of this to God. Like, me and my husband are both Christians. I think I'm finding it really hard because like I know that like God's timing is perfect and I know that like he gives you what is good when you need it. Only with his timing everything will be perfect and everything will come at the time that it's supposed to. So I trust that. But I also think I find it hard because when you do marriage counseling, when you're prepping to get married as a Christian, one of the commands that God gave Adam and Eve is to multiply and fill the earth. And so I understand that we live in like a broken and fallen world, but it's like I'm trying to like carry on that command and I'm trying to like follow what God has said in my marriage, and it's just really disheartening when it doesn't happen. I also feel like there's a big stigma around Christian couples when they get married, and that I feel like a lot of Christians do tend to have families quite quickly. I feel like because Phil and I are coming up to like 3.5 years of marriage at the end of this year, I find it quite hard. I really wanted to have a baby by this point. I'm 27 now and I always like thought I would have a baby at like 25 or 26. And I always knew that after at least 2 years of marriage, like I wanted a baby. I was like, if I don't have a baby by my 3rd year of being married, then like that's not good enough. Like that's way too long. It's just really hard because like this is something that I literally have no control over. The Bible makes it very, very clear that God opens the womb and he shuts the womb, and I trust that because I feel like I've learned that when you're testing and you're trying and you're doing everything that you're supposed to within the window that you're supposed to and it's still not happening, it really does show you that like God is the one who ordains life and creates life. I trust that, but it's also like really hard because I'm trying to fulfill this command that he has given my husband and I in marriage. I feel at the start I was okay because I was like, okay, like I don't think I'm gonna get pregnant on the first try. I know that that happens for some people and that is amazing and that's so cool for those people, but I just personally was like, I feel like I'm gonna take a bit to get pregnant. Like I've always had this feeling that it's gonna take me a while to get pregnant. I was hoping that I would be proven wrong, but I feel like that's just what's happening. It's the way it is. My cat's giving me comfort. She's been very, very clingy. I feel like God put that kind of somewhere in my conscience to kind of warn me that this would take a little bit of time. The longer that it's taken the harder it's got and the more that it has taken a toll on both Phil and I. You get like 12 chances a year. Obviously within those 12 there's like multiple days that you can get pregnant, but like you kind of get like 1 week a month to give it a crack, and so it's actually like a lot harder than what you think it is. I've cried like multiple times just because of like how frustrating it is. I feel like God moved us to this house for a reason. Basically we moved to this house so that we could be in a bigger place to be able to have kids, because when we were living in our previous place, the people who lived upstairs, they didn't know if they like wanted a young baby to be downstairs, and then eventually children. So I felt like if God wasn't going to take us down that route, then he would have kept us at the old place, but he like opened up a way for us to be in this house. He gave us this house, and this is like me trying to like understand God, and like I know that like I'll never ever fully be able to understand God and his ways. In my head, this is how I'm like processing it. We've been in this house for like a year now. It's mentally very, very taxing every month. Every month that I get my period, I'm really, really disappointed. Pretty much through my journey of trying to conceive, I have not taken a pregnancy test unless my period has been late, because I don't want to like get my hopes up. But even when my period has been a day late, it's never been more than 2 days late, but whenever it's been a day late, I feel like there is just so much hope that like fills me. And then the minute that I get my period or I take a pregnancy test and it's negative, all of that hope just like, oh my gosh, see, I've cried multiple times. All of that hope just comes like crashing down. Really, really hard to like process that. You go from like one extreme emotion to the other. Something else that I've also found really, really challenging is feeling like I can't complain and I can't be sad because others have it so much worse. When we didn't get pregnant after like the first 6 months of trying, I was like kind of trying to rationalize how I was feeling and put it on a scale as to where others are. Like I was like, oh my gosh, Paige, like you can't be so selfish and you can't feel pain because other people have been trying for like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years and not conceived. Like that's so not fair for you to feel what you're feeling after 6 months. Like get it together. The longer that like we've been trying to conceive, the more I'm just like, I'm allowed to feel sad and I'm allowed to feel pain that I'm not pregnant, whether that's after like the first month or whether it's after a year or 2 years. I'm allowed to grieve that. It's not a competition, and you shouldn't have to go through 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years of infertility to be able to feel something. I have a right to feel sad, and I'm allowed to feel sad because we're all on different timings. There's not a one size fits all for trying to get pregnant. It's literally just whenever God chooses. And I found that really, really hard to just allow myself to grieve. I'm allowed to grieve within the first year of trying if I've not conceived. Like I don't have to wait until further down the track to be able to grieve. And so I just want to say that if you are on this journey as well, then whether you've been trying for like a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever stage you're in, it's okay to grieve. Something else that has been like a huge emotional roller coaster for me is the really complicated emotions that come with finding out other people are pregnant. Or I feel like every time I go on social media at the moment, it's either a pregnancy announcement, it's someone with like a family photo with all of their kids, it's a kid's birthday, or it's like a milestone update. I was talking to my best friend about this because I feel like there's different branches of this same emotion, and I don't know what this emotion is called, but it's like you genuinely feel so happy for these people who have announced that they're pregnant, whether that's online or whether that's in person. Like you genuinely feel so happy for them because you know how hard it is to conceive, and you know that that child is going to grow up in a family where they're loved and like in a family that can support them, because so many children, especially in New Zealand, grow up in abusive homes, they grow up in gang situations, they just grow up where they just don't have what they need. And so like when a friend of yours gets pregnant, like you're genuinely so happy because you know that that child is going to flourish. I've had a lot of Christian friends get pregnant over the past like year. I know that that child is going to grow up in an environment where they're loved and they hear about Jesus and they're going to know God growing up. And I think that that is such a beautiful thing and such a blessing, and so I'm genuinely so happy for them. But at the same time, it hurts because it's like, well, how many more people are in this line? Like, it feels like I'm in a line where there's like so many people in front of me and I don't know where I am in this line, and I don't know like when it's my turn. It's a very complicated emotion to feel those two things at the exact same time, but I think they can coexist at the same time. I am trying my absolute hardest to not be jealous and to not feel bitterness, because I know how hard it is to conceive, and I know like what a miracle life is, and I know that like God will do what he wants to do and he will give people what they need. And so if someone else is given a baby, then that's clearly what they need right now, and there's so much beauty in that. I feel like another strand of the same umbrella would be anyone who is wanting to get married and it seems like all of their friends around them are like getting engaged or getting married, or maybe there's another strand where like your marriage has fallen apart and you see everyone else being happy in their marriages and you're just waiting for that time, but you're genuinely so happy for all of your other friends who are happily married, but at the same time you desire that yourself, but you don't wish ill on those other people. So it's just a very, very complicated emotion, and I think unless you're on one of those strands, I don't think you will fully understand it until you're there. It's not like I think that those people don't deserve to have a baby, because they absolutely do, and I just feel like I've always had this drive to be a mum. You guys know that, and so I'm just like, I don't understand why God would give me this drive if he didn't intend to take me down that path. And like I've tried to like rationalize a lot of like why I'm not pregnant. I'm like, oh, maybe it's because like we're short on leaders at kids church. Maybe it's because like my husband and I need to learn something together as a couple that will benefit us when we have a kid. Maybe I just need to get through a bit more of my study first. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe it's this. And I've been like praying with my Bible study group to just not try and understand the reason, but to just feel sad and not to feel numb and try and explain it away, because I don't understand why God does things and why he does other things. And one day I will, but that day is not today. And that's okay, and I don't have to try and understand it all. I just have to give it all to God and trust his timing. Those very complicated emotions, it's really hard to try and regulate them and understand them. Also, I think when you're trying to conceive, like I was saying to my best friend, you actually see time in motion. Some of my mum friends from church have been through pregnancy and now have their baby, and like we were trying at the same time that they were. Like my friend Chrissy, like I started trying like the month of her baby shower, and now she has a 1-year-old and I'm still no further along. And so it's just a very weird thing where you can see time moving. Like my friend Daisy got pregnant with her second, and Phil and I had been trying for months and months and months before she found out that she was pregnant, and now she's had her baby and her baby is here, and I held her baby last Sunday, and what a beautiful thing that that is. You really just see like how long and how time moves, and I don't really think you physically see it unless like you're trying to conceive or you're wanting to be married or like one of those kind of similar strands. It's just really hard when you just like, you feel like you're ready for a baby, but for whatever reason God thinks you're not ready. I was literally crying to Phil the other night. Like, it's not like I feel like I want a child for a selfish reason. Like, I feel like I want to fulfill God's command of filling the earth and multiplying with my husband. Like, he's provided me with a husband to be able to do this. My in-laws are a little bit on the older side, and so I would love to have a baby so that they can spend as much time with them. A lot of my family have a lot of health issues. Like, my sister almost died 2 years ago. That like, I want my family to be able to be there and like be around my kids like for as long as possible. Like, I would love my grandmother to meet my kids. I really desire those things. Like, one of the things one of my mums said to me was like, I feel like the perfect time to have a baby is when you and your husband have a really strong walk with the Lord. And I was like, well, I feel like I'm there. I feel like I have a really strong relationship with God, and like my husband and I are just like so strong that I'm just like, I feel like we're ready. But it's like, I can't make this go any faster. Really hard to just try and like give up control. My battery just died, so hopefully the setup is kind of somewhat the same. Another thing that I think I found really challenging is people either trying to guess why we're not pregnant, like come up with all these reasons as to why we're not pregnant, and then on the other end of the spectrum, people just offering advice when I don't ask for it, and advice that like isn't helpful. And I know that these people are coming from a place of wanting to help and wanting to encourage, but it's really not helpful. If you're watching this and you've said any of these things to me, I'm not trying to call you out on it, and I'm not trying to come across as malicious. I'm just saying that these things just really are not helpful, and sometimes they make me feel the opposite way. Like, I've had people just say like, oh, well, just have sex every day of like that window, and sometimes that's not practical for Phil and I. Like, sometimes we're just both really tired. We do also have a lot that we're dealing with externally that I can't talk about yet. Phil and I, again, we're fine, we're strong, but just things with other people that we are dealing with, and so sometimes we just need to be there for other people. Sometimes we're just emotionally drained. I've also had people be like, oh, well, just stop trying, like, trust God, it'll happen when it's meant to happen. And while there is some truth to that, like, we do live in a broken world, and God has given us medical tools to be able to help people who are struggling, and I feel like it would be naive to not consider that possibility and to not use wisdom when deciding if you need to go down the medical route. It's like, well, we stopped trying for like a couple months and it still didn't happen. So when people are like, oh, just stop trying, it'll happen. No, it didn't happen. Like, people can offer like different dietary things for you to do, and I have had one friend actually ask me if I wanted advice, and so like, if I say it's okay, then I feel like it's helpful. But it's also the reminder that while something worked for somebody else, that doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Like, there's no magical supplement, there's no magical position, like there's no magic in just stopping trying, there's no magic in, oh, we'll have sex every single day of your window and you'll fall pregnant. Like, there's no one size fits all to getting pregnant. It is literally just up to God's timing and whatever hoops we have to jump through to be able to get pregnant, like, I'm open to. But Phil and I have always wanted kids. It's something that we talked about very early on in our relationship, like before we even like moved in together way back in the day, before we found Christ. If you have someone in your life who is going through this trying to conceive journey, the worst thing that you can do is offer advice without asking them first. I would rather someone just come up to me, or when they find out that like we're trying to conceive and it's not happening, just being like, that sucks, I'm so sorry, let me pray for you. And like, we do have people praying for us, and I'm so thankful that we have people praying for us. We have been put on a waiting list to go and see another fertility specialist. We are a priority of 3, which I don't know if that's like the lowest priority or not. On average, it takes like 6 months to go and see this fertility person. Through the summer, I also want to research naturopaths because Phil and I think that we want to go and see one. Also just checking in with like how we're feeling, not like is there any progress, or like, you know, oh, you haven't been feeling well, I wonder if something's going on. Like, all of that is just not helpful. And like, I know it comes from a place of love, and I know that that's probably what people have been conditioned to think, but it's really just not helpful. If anything, it's like quite hurtful. Also, please don't ask people, oh, so when are you having kids, to people who are married, because like, you just don't know like what journey someone is on. I hope that that didn't come off as harsh. If it did, I'm so sorry. That's not my intention. These are things I think that I have learnt. I also said to Phil, like, the longer that it takes us to get pregnant, the more I'm worried that like people are just gonna like give up and like stop praying for us because they're like, oh well, prayer's not working. I know that that's not the case, but that's also sometimes how I feel. Trying to balance this with everything else, and uni has just honestly been rough. Mentally struggled so much more this year than like any other year. Like, I haven't given up hope, but I'm also like emotionally drained, if that makes sense. If you are on this journey, I'm so sorry that you are on this journey. Trying for a baby is such a beautiful thing, but I know that there also comes with that a lot of hardship and a lot of emotions and a lot of tears. So please drop in the comments if you are on this journey as well, and please let me pray for you every week, because like, I know that there is a lot of power in prayer, and the Bible is very, very clear on that. If you feel open and vulnerable to, if not, flick me a DM on Instagram if you want to keep it private. I also feel like I don't really have anyone in my life that's like on the same journey. A lot of my mum friends, like I've said, have fallen pregnant quite easily, or they like have multiple kids. I think that's also been quite hard, and I've been finding it really hard when people are like onto their like seconds and thirds and fourth child, and I'm just like, oh, I would just love one. And like, I know it's not a competition, I know that they're on their own journey, and again, so happy for them. But yeah, it's just hard when everyone around you is getting pregnant and you're like the only one that's not. So yeah, if you're on that journey, please let me know so that I don't feel as alone. Gosh, I've cried so much. How do I still have tears left at this point? I'm gonna go because I feel like I just can't talk about this anymore. Thanks for being here, and thank you for supporting Phil and I.